Oh, that's funny.
What?
Nothing. I'm just. Are we live?
Yeah,
We are, I think. Yeah.
Ski beep ba doo.
Billy's in the chat, Rick's in the chat, Tesla Rock.
What am I doing to this crap?
Tesla Rock.
There we are.
Grant,
Hey guys.
Richard, Liam, Billy, Rick, Todd, Steven. Wow.
Hey, Mr. Bogus. Long time no talk to.
Damn.
Jason, Rockoforce, Evan.
Bill's great. One day we'll be able to get that Raid Zero on guy though.
Yeah.
That Raid Zero guy on though.
I can't wait to meet him.
I hear he's a jerk in real life.
Cristobal.
Some kind of crazy British wanker.
Wanker. Yeah, wanker. Nice.
I look really olive skinned.
Yeah. Hey Phil, do your best American impression.
Yeah.
I need something to say though. What should I say?
Say,
hey everybody, let's go get some hamburgers.
I was
Hey,
gonna
everybody.
say hamburgers and French
Yeah,
fries.
you gotta get in the mode.
Yeah. Hamburgers and French fries.
It's not bad.
That's good.
It's not
That's
bad.
really good. I like it. I like it.
Howdy, partner.
Howdy, partner.
Nah, you had a little bit of an accent there.
Dan Marino. How's the Super Bowl, Dan Marino?
Oh man, I'm so tired.
Richard.
I'm going to pick up a puppy today, guys. Gonna go get a puppy.
I don't think you want to because I just literally had to go downstairs and clean up a mess that my dog had done.
Don't remind me of how terrible it is to have a dog.
Yeah, I remember when you had a dog and you were so annoyed every day.
So I said to my kids, I was like, just make sure that Belle, if she wants to go out, like just let her out. And they just like sat downstairs with their headphones on, watching like the iPad. And then I go down, I go down like Belle has messed on the floor. Did you not let her out? Yeah. So yeah.
Debs is gone for one day and
yeah.
Yeah, I would blame that more on your kids than the dog, though.
Yeah. The trash set on fire.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to apologize as well because I do have a bit of a cough. So apologies if I don't get to the mute button in time.
No, it's all right.
Rockaforce, I totally thought about naming my dog Render,
Check.
but I'm gonna name it Pixel.
Oh, nice.
Pixel.
Yeah.
That's all right. And I said every time that it chews up something, you'll have to say pixelate this and pixelate that.
The way I pick a dog,
Dang.
the way I pick a dog name is like I just imagine shouting it in a park, and if it sounds stupid, then that's
Then it's a good one.
Yeah.
not. It's a good one. Yeah.
All right.
Have you seen that? You've seen that video, haven't you? The guy who's like Fenton.
No, I haven't.
No.
Oh my god! Type in Fenton.
Oh, wait.
dog.
Yeah, maybe that sounds.
And he's like,
familiar.
it's in Richmond Park, and is like dogs chasing some deer, and he's just Fenton.
Node. But then you could just get a bunch of dogs and name them all Node, and then you just have a bunch of nodes everywhere.
I wanted to get some Alsatians or German Shepherds and name them after ex-presidents. So imagine having a German Shepherd called Eisenhower. It'd be amazing.
Don, who's got a fan on?
I don't hear anything.
Oh,
Okay,
don't
never
know.
mind.
Is that coming?
Oh, never mind. That was the YouTube video that I was
Okay.
watching. Sorry,
All right. Is everybody rolling? Ready for the clap?
I'm not
Yes.
rolling. Okay, now I am. All right.
Let me just check I'm rolling. Yes, I'm rolling.
Hey, make sure, actually, Phil, make sure real quick before we start that you are recording to the right microphone.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
just
I
record
I
something real
definitely
quick
am.
and then.
I
Okay,
definitely
just
am,
want to make
yeah.
sure.
Tap tap
Yeah.
tap a root. Leave it up to just to keep an eye on the waveform while you're going. Make sure it doesn't
Okay.
stop or something. All right. Ready for the clap?
Yes.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
So perfect on my part. The rest of y'all sucked.
All right. I like that you can see.
It's
through
really
it
funny
real quick.
watching the live stream.
It is, yeah. We're all like,
Because like you and I
concentrate
hit
on
perfectly, and Dave's like way early.
clapping.
That's what latency is about.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go.
Definitely a dirt node. That's good. I like that. I like that. Name him Voronoi.
Just
How do you
don't
say his name?
fracture him.
Voronoi. Voronoi.
Macaroni.
Oh, his name's Mograph.
Mo
call him Mowgli.
Graph. All right, let's do a show. We got
All
a
right,
long
let's do a show. Yeah.
All right. What up, bros? Welcome to another Brograph Brocast. I'm Dave.
I'm Matt, and joining us today, our good friend from across the pond, Mr. Phil Roberts, also known as his AKA online persona, Mr. Raid Zero.
Hello, everybody.
And Brograph is a supplement to our site, brograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other MoGraph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects, plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. And you can email us, brograph@brograph.com, and let us know what you think about the show. Send your comments, queries, suggestions, and grievances.
Suggestions.
So Phil and Raid Zero are both here today.
Yeah.
And
We got half the show each.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll split it. Yeah. And we got a lot to talk about. It's gonna be a short
You
show.
guys do.
Actually,
I'm like,
it's probably gonna
I'm
be
gonna
a
sit
3-hour
back.
show.
I'm gonna sit back and just let you guys handle this all, because y'all have been hanging out for like the past like 2 weeks together.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna
All
sit
right.
back and daydream about my new dog.
Well, I'm going to start first things first with the week wrap-up. And
Do it.
let's talk about Sunday.
What happened Sunday?
Sunday.
The Super Bowl?
Shh, you want to get sued?
You
want to
get sued?
It's the big game. Duh. No. So
Yeah.
here's the thing.
The Superb Owl.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But we were at Barton's, had already been chewed for half of it, at least. Then the two of us went to some other things. And so that was kind of fun. Got to catch up with Barton, Lance, Houdini, Mark,
Mhm.
all the other guys. And we were kind of waiting around for this big Beeples thing.
Well, no. Okay. Here's the thing.
But we didn't know what
No,
it was
no,
going
no.
to be.
Yeah, but like it. Okay, Super Bowl for us. If you say people, we're like, okay, yeah, it's amazing. But you also have to keep in mind that a lot of us do some amazing work, but it's literally just a background element. You know?
Oh, sure. I wasn't sure what to look for. I just wanted to know
I'm
what I
pretty
was
sure it's
looking
just some of the background stuff, which is cool.
I don't
But
think
you
we
also have to
still
keep in
even know
mind
what it
for the
was.
Superb Owl, like inside the place, there was stuff up above that we couldn't see.
Right.
Yeah,
You
so
know?
they were filming Maroon 5 like
Yeah.
on the stage, but up above there's a
Right.
huge like circular screen
Yeah.
that I know Ryan Summers has done a lot of work for, like setting up the, you know,
Mhm.
Yeah. And some people,
Big game stuff.
at least one person I saw in the Slack worked on it as well.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
it's super
Something.
cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, the
but in
Superb
terms of
Owl
what we
was
could
just
see
stupid.
was just the, you know, like the ends of the, like the tiers where they're just like a really slim like kind of
Right.
video.
And it was really cool because they had this ultra wide angle lens on it too whenever they showed it. So you could see the big ring or whatever. But the big game was kind of a disappointment.
It's boring.
It was really boring.
It was
really
like
boring.
even the commercials were terrible.
Yeah.
Like it's like what I don't know. I always found that Super Bowl commercials were like they were going to be the cream of the crop, funniest commercials that you would ever see on TV.
Yeah.
Right? But now it's just like everyone's taking themselves so seriously.
Everyone's
like,
too afraid to offend someone.
That could be the case. That could be the case.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, that's possible.
Just throw some poop jokes in there, and those are the best. You know,
Poop and fart jokes.
Poop and fart jokes.
Yeah. Back to basics with poops and farts.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Yeah. Is it 2017? Because I literally can't even. It was that bad.
So fired.
I'd rather look at Shaggy memes.
What? Okay, I don't get this.
I don't
What
either.
are Shaggy memes?
They're
Is
terrible.
it new?
Yeah, Shaggy memes?
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen a few, but I will
Shaggy.
say
not that Shaggy,
was,
but Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
Right, like it wasn't me, not him,
bombastic.
right?
Yeah.
Right.
The non-bombastic.
Right. Anyway, I was very disappointed that they didn't do all of Sweet Victory. I understand why. It was nice of them to give a little throw out, shout out or whatever. But they should have done at least sung some of it.
Well,
but they didn't.
I'm not clear.
Sweet Victory?
Can you explain the SpongeBob thing?
Okay, so SpongeBob SquarePants, right? I think it was the creator or whatever died this past year.
Right.
And so there was this big online thing on the Bikini Bottom feed, the subreddit or whatever, to get them to play Sweet Victory at the Super Bowl, And so it was cool of them to actually put like a reference to it, but it would have been cooler had they actually played it, So now the Bikini Bottom feed on Twitter is like all up in arms or whatever because they didn't even play it. Well, whatever.
At least they did homage to it.
Yeah, they didn't even have to.
Right.
Right. But it's like,
see,
whatever.
Offended no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Dan Marino said Shaggy's power memes came from a Dragon Ball Z audio mashup of Shaggy beating up some goons.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, see, Kevin, you're right. The Dallas Stars did it right.
What did they do?
Because they played the whole thing during halftime.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well,
they did
it
it
would
right.
have been better than the halftime show. That's for true.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Nothing will ever beat the Michael Jackson from 1993 Super Bowl.
I don't know.
Left
Left Shark was pretty good.
Left Shark was so... Yeah. There's just a lot of good memes from that.
Right, but at least it was a little bit entertaining in that it was kind of off the wall. This is just like... I saw that one Twitter post somebody posted. Like, imagine paying $3,000 for a Maroon 5 concert and a field goal.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. That's funny.
So
yeah.
That's pretty much what it was. And they don't even get to watch the commercials.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it's really dumb.
So, other things from the week. Thanks, by the way, Matt, for the other day playing Switch with my daughter.
You're welcome.
Because she really, really wanted to play. She's like, Liam's on. He's playing such and such. I'm like, but I don't have that game. But she texted me to tell me Liam was playing online. And I was
That's really funny.
All right. Well, once she saw you were online playing Super Smash Brothers, it was so funny because we were on two phones at the same time trying to like figure out how to make it work because I wasn't with her. And she was really happy though that she got to play some Smash Brothers and Mario Kart.
Yeah, she kept walking off the screen. But that's okay. You gotta learn.
You gotta learn.
I'm up to like 56 characters unlocked now, which is pretty good.
I thought there were only 26 characters.
No, I'll give you that.
Okay.
No. Yeah, I don't know. I think there's like 70 or 75 or something like that. I've got a ways to go. I don't even have Dr. Mario yet. Gotta get Dr. Mario.
There's the plant thingy. There's a new.
Yeah, I got Piranha Plant.
Yeah, Piranha Plant.
I got that.
You have to like
that one came
download
with
it or something.
Yeah. You get emailed like a digital code. Yeah. See, Billy says only 20 something left. Yeah. Pickle Nick and I have been playing it occasionally, once we get our day done.
And you're pretty good at the one, what is it called? Sunshine, right? Sunshine?
Yeah,
Shine.
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 It's the Mario Kart, like the battle version, Shine. Oh man, it's so much fun.
You're so good
like
at it.
You
it's
basically
frustrating.
you just chase after people, and then it's basically capture the flag.
Well, me and David Ariev and
I gotta
like
say,
EJ were
this all
getting
comes
really,
back.
really pissed off because we could not even touch you.
This all comes back to how good I am at capture the flag. And the secret to capture the flag is to be completely to not be the popular kid in school. All right? Because if people don't know you exist, they don't know you're on the other team. And I had this happen to me when I was in elementary school. Like, I was not a cool kid. No one knew who I was. So it was very easy to go up to the front of the line and then turn around and pretend I'm on the other team. I did that 3 times in one game. From that point on, everyone knew my name.
So then how could you play? Because then they knew your name.
Yeah, but it's true. It's true. After that, I was known in the school as the king of capture the flag.
He protect, he attack, he get his shine back.
Oh my gosh!
Right?
So dumb. Right.
And speaking,
so it's just going to be a show full of really bad dad jokes coming from
memes,
Dave
and terrible memes. If you follow Fortnite on Switch, you'll also see that the Mr. Mellow, Mr. Marshmallow, he's a DJ. He's not DJ Marshmallow, he's Marshmallow. And apparently there's no W at the end. He had a concert in Fortnite this weekend. It had been the talk of the school, according to my daughter. Everybody was talking about the fact that they were going to do a special thing where you can't die in there. It's a special game mode, and you go in. We checked it out ahead of time. They had a stage built and everything, and then they did this concert in there, and millions of people showed up. Millions of
there weren't
people.
a million people in that one place, was there?
Well, they had to distribute it. I think it was still only 50 to a deal, but literally millions of people watched this concert. It was history.
Cool.
And you're like, yeah, whatever, kids these days, but that's where it's going. Got to keep up with the technology. Got to learn how to swim. You got to jump in the water.
VR.
Don't forget to feed Bruiser.
What are you talking about?
Oh. You never watched Flight of the Navigator? Man, that was too inside, I guess. Okay.
No, I watched Flight of the Navigator a lot. I just don't
have
it memorized like you do.
Oh, and David Ariev actually showed me this video that somebody did that was done in Octane. It was for Marshmallow. And so I'll have a link to that in the show notes. See, that's how it's relevant.
Have you heard of a guy called Stephen Messing? I think he presented NAB or SIGGRAPH in about 2015.
I think that's who it was.
Yeah, he used to do stuff for movies. So he did stuff for Avatar, and he did stuff for Star Trek. When those films came out, matte paintings and digital set extensions and all that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's really, really good. And then all of a sudden, it seems to have dropped off. Yeah, he's totally dropped off. And then all of a sudden, all he's posting is just this Marshmallow guy all the time. he must be just his guy.
Yeah.
I'll post a link to this video in the show notes.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to Pickle Nick. His first official render dropped today, right? He got picked up for a buddy of his was doing a Kickstarter video. So for the past couple weeks, he's been working on this Kickstarter video, and I've just been kind of jumping in and helping whenever I can, whenever he needs help. But yeah, it officially dropped today. If you guys go onto Kickstarter, what is it called? It's called A Pound of Flesh. So they just started the Kickstarter. They got funded in 10 minutes. So super cool. It's for role playing games and stuff. But yeah, you can see his videos, and it's super exciting. All done in Redshift too, which was great.
So I got a text, and I had to deal with a parenting issue the other day. And this parenting issue is something that I got a little advice on from Phil, and it is that my daughter wanted to start a YouTube channel.
Oh.
And so it was like,
I don't even let my kid watch YouTube. Like, I let him watch rides. Yeah, dude, because, like, okay, so one day he was watching YouTube, and, like, he was watching all the people dressed up as characters and stuff. And one day it was Spider-Man pooping fire. And it's like, what are you watching? This has no educational value at all. And so, like, I get mad when he watches YouTube. Like, I'm like, you can watch rides from Disney World, but you cannot watch Spider-Man pooping fire.
Meanwhile, you're watching Spider-Man pooping fire GIFs on Reddit.
Right?
Yeah, constantly.
That's okay.
Chip off the old block.
I'm above 18 years old. I can watch those things. I told him he can start watching them when he's 14.
Yeah, and because that kind of stuff just goes right down the rabbit hole to, like, furries and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And
So my
Breadface
kids
blog.
my kids have an app called YouTube Kids, and it's basically like just YouTube, but it's
No, that's just as bad. It's just as bad. Like, why do I want my kid to watch like a 20-minute video of someone taking things out of eggs? You know, it's
kids
so
watch
dumb.
So
and
weird things.
and,
Like,
like,
they'll literally watch like
whatever
other kids
entertains
playing
you, right?
toys. Yeah.
it teaches kids about gambling, like that. Like, honestly, and I was talking to Nick about this the other day, how much I absolutely just despise a lot of these play to win loot games and stuff. And also with the YouTube videos and the magic eggs. Well, there's this dumb kid named Ryan who's on YouTube that all the kids watch, right? And he's got all these games that he plays and stuff. Well, he's now selling this magical, like, surprise egg, you know, at Target. And so you open it up and you just get random stuff. But it's like, I don't like buying something that I don't know what it is, you know? And so you buy the loot boxes and you get the eggs. Sorry, I'm being like, back in my day, we didn't have.
Grant says, it's the
dopamine. Transformers is the first, like, thing, like, where they made the cartoon and then they made the toys to come out afterwards. It's like, this is just the new form of that.
It makes me so mad that, like, yeah, but it makes me mad that you don't know what you're going to buy, what you're buying, you know? Like, my kid loved Mash'ems for a while. They're just these stupid little, like, water-filled things. And he'd get so upset and he'd start crying when he didn't get the right Mash'em. I'm like, I can't go and spend $500 on shitty toys that you're just going to, like, destroy in
Have you seen those like those Lego? They do like a Lego in a packet, and it'll be like Harry Potter, and you get people there just like standing there like feeling them, like just to figure it out, like trying to figure it out.
And LOLs are the big thing right now too.
Surprise lols or whatever.
Lols.
Yeah, and it's like it's seriously gambling for kids. You know, and it teaches them that if you just keep throwing money at it, that eventually you'll get what you want, and it's dumb.
Yeah,
like,
we were at CVS the other day, and she wanted one. It's like $10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I were like in Congress or whatever, that would be the very first thing that I push.
It's not illegal.
Is that you cannot. It needs to be though, because
if there were a law, it would be against it.
It is basically gambling. You are straight up gambling. You know.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I mean, just look at you in the emoji blitz.
Right, but here's with Emoji Blitz, I don't play the way you're supposed to.
You cheat.
I freaking cheat like crazy
because
I found a way to get around all the BS that they put on you. I'll spend time playing the game in order to get like some different coins, but then I change my date on it so that I can keep spinning the free prize wheels so that I can get whatever I want. And then I use 2 phones in order to get the correct diamond box that I want. It is a lot of energy.
Anytime.
And what sucks about it is that I can't just buy the ones that I want. I've got to go through and I got to hustle like this in order to get the new ones that come out. Because now I've got them all and I've got to keep them up. And it's terrible.
Got to catch them all. See,
it's
that's
the
where it came
worst
from.
thing in the world.
Meanwhile, the dogs died because it's been 3 days.
Yeah.
It's okay, Pixel. We can do this together.
Yeah.
We'll get
Pixel?
through this.
Yeah,
Pixel?
Kevin was talking about Ryan's toy review. He's 7 years old. He makes
That's
22 million
what
a
it
year.
is. Yeah.
And that's what my daughter and her friends are all talking about. And a bunch of them have YouTube channels. So I'm sitting there asking Phil what some advice was for that, because you were like, "Oh, my son has a YouTube channel," and
Yeah, so like Kane, like he watched this kid called Evan. He has a Evan Tube is thing is called, and he basically does like toy reviews, and he's been doing it since he was 7 years old, and now he's 11.
So
And his parents have literally gone full time, like both quit their jobs. Like they got a huge house out in somewhere like Colorado or something, and they just get sent all these toys because they just get millions and millions of hits on their channel. And like Kane was like, I really want to do it, and I was like, you know what? Like I've got a camera. Like I had a MacBook at the time. I can just do it all on iMovie. Like if you want to make a, we'll get some Lego, and if you want to do it, you can do it. So I set him up a YouTube channel. It's called Kane Tube, Kane Tube, and then like just let him, and he was really good at it. But the thing is, like he hasn't kept it up. Like I knew he wouldn't, but you know,
yeah,
like
see, that's the thing with kids.
I needed to like let him, because he would have pestered me. So I was like, yeah, let's do it, and then basically that just kind of fizzled out, and yeah, it's the videos are still up there, but he's had like quite a few hits. You know, like we did like a day out to like a trampoline park, and we just filmed that, and then I just put it together. You know, you just like literally put it in order and just throw it into iMovie, you know.
Well, I found a really good system for this because, first of all, oh, and by the way, I liked your story about how I think he was in the middle of one of his videos or something, and all of it, because weren't both your sons in the video or something, and one of them
yeah. So
pops his
they're
head
both
in, and what did he say?
So Brandon, he was only, I think he was like 5 at the time, and he was like, I really want to be in the video. And we got this ice, you know, like a Frosty the Snowman sort of ice maker, and we were just like, oh, let's do this. And Brandon really wanted to have one, so he was like, do you want to be in the video? He's like, yeah. And like he was so wooden. Like Kane's like really good in front of the camera, super natural, like, but Brandon was like super wooden. And he's like, Kane passes him something, and he looks directly at the camera and goes, "Thank you, brother."
It's like he moves into the screen like,
it's so funny, yeah.
"Thank you, brother," and like moves back out.
It was so funny.
So I came up with a system because, okay, first of all, Emily wants me to make her an opening graphic. You know, she wants an opening animation, and she wants the song. And
another one of these clients coming in wanting
I know,
free work,
free stuff. Yeah. She wants to collaborate. I'm like,
it's great for your exposure. She'll pay you in exposure dollars.
Yeah, she told me it was good for exposure. But I haven't done that yet. I told her I would at some point, but I just want her to see if she likes it. So I'm not going to sit here and edit a bunch of stuff for her or do any of that stuff. So I was thinking, what is the best way to go about this to allow her to post herself? And so I decided this weekend I was going to teach her how to edit on her phone or her iPad. And so this is a great solution for this. Adobe Rush.
Right.
Because everything that you do in Adobe Rush automatically uploads to the computer. So I actually had my computer open, and as she's editing on her phone, it's showing up on my computer on the fly.
That's cool.
I can see what she's doing. So it's uploading all the stuff. I can see what she's doing. If she's having a problem with it, I can just hop on my computer and help her, you know? And plus, at the end, it compresses the whole thing, and it's pretty good for what it is. Like, it has the tracks and titling and transitions and all that kind of stuff. And at the end, you can tell it to compress it, export it out, and automatically upload it to YouTube. And so I showed her how to do it one time, and then she did a second one all on her own, and it's fine. You know, she's able to do it on her own. So my thought on the deal is, if you can show your kid how to do it, of course you have to have the sit down, you have to have the talk, you have to talk about comments and strangers and what kind of information, and not giving out your address, all that, you know, all of that stuff. But once they do it, if they're able to do it on their own and they have enough drive to do it on their own, then you kind of know, okay, well, my kid is actually into this, because there's nothing worse than like it becoming a chore, you know? It's like, I'm going to give you the tools you need to do it. I'm going to show you how to do it. And if you have enough motivation, you'll keep up with it. And then maybe we'll go from there, you know? And it's really funny to hear even what kids are talking about. She was texting, you know, because she has it's not a phone that's activated, but you can get an old phone and put iCloud on it. So all of her friends,
I never thought about that,
have iCloud. And so she texts me all the time with like this dead iPhone. And so she's texting her friends, and her friend was like, well, we need to get AMD I don't know what it was called, or AMG activations to sponsor our thing. And she's like 8, and she's like talking about we need to get such and such to sponsor our deal, because, you know, otherwise we can't show toys on YouTube. I'm like, okay, well, first of all, that's really crazy that you're talking about sponsorships, but no, the toys.
Secondly,
like,
you're wrong. Let me
you're
teach
wrong.
you about how this works.
No, I said you can show off any toy you want, and you got to do that first before you got to get your numbers up before you can get the activations. She's like, I want a custom URL. I'm like, you can't do that until you have 100 subscribers. So now she's watching her subscriber numbers. It's interesting.
Yes. So we got the custom URL.
This isn't anything that parents have had to deal with in the past. This is kind of a new area.
Yeah.
So
new ground.
You know, if you told my parents that, you know, that's what I would be dealing with when I became a parent, they'd have no idea what I was talking about. The internet wasn't even around yet. So it's like one of those things where there needs to be a guide on this somewhere.
It was more like, be home for dinner. That was it, pretty much.
Right.
That was my experience.
Hey, where are you? I haven't seen you in 6 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in my day.
Yeah. So
my kid had his 100th day of school, and so they dress like they're 100 years old.
Yeah.
You know, and we put like this fake white mustache on and fake white eyebrows and stuff. And I made him say, back in my day, we didn't have cell phones and Facebooks. Oh, and he was trying to say, I said, okay, now say, hey, whippersnappers. And he goes, hey, whipper flappers.
Whipper flappers?
Whipper flappers. Had to walk to school uphill both ways.
I had to walk across the room to change the channel. You have learned, Matt, while I was gone, you were learning more about character generation and sculpting and retopologizing.
I've been playing around. Yeah. So this is, I don't know. You know how when you get into Cinema 4D and you start out, or any program, and you're just like, ooh, what does this section of like drop down menus do? And you're like, ugh, I don't want to touch that.
Right.
And that's been character stuff for me. The little character tag, anything in character, I don't want to touch with, you know, I haven't wanted to deal with. But like Nick and I were chatting, you know, we wrote a script a long time ago and like did all the voices and everything for a cartoon that we wanted to do. And so with Nick coming over and like, you know, learning and stuff, I was like, you know, I think it's time. I think it's time for us to do this, you know. So I started like learning. I love sculpting. I think sculpting in cinema is super fun, and it's very relaxing, and it's neat to see something go from just a cube or a sphere into something really pretty. So I was like, all right, I'm going to start sculpting this stuff. I'm going to build the characters. Nick, you start learning how to rig. And so he's been doing these rigging tutorials, and I've been doing some sculpting tutorials. And what's cool about sculpting is like 90% of what you're going to do is pull and grab, you know, like that's 90% of what you're going to do. And then occasionally you'll use like the knife tool and the pinch tool and stuff like that. And pull, grab, and smooth, and like that's most of what you'll do in order to get things into the right shape, and then you start going into it. So I was going, just for those who haven't done any sculpting, there's not a lot of tutorials on the workflow for it, and so like I reached out to a bunch of people, and really like, so a good workflow for sculpting is you start off and you sculpt like a generic shape first, like the generic face that you want. And then you can go through and using the polygon pen, you can go through and retopo this. And there's some really good, I need to do a tutorial on it because really there's not a lot of really good tutorials that teach you the correct way to do retopo. Like you want to make sure that your topology follows along, especially with, how you're going to UV stuff, so like if you've got a hairline and you're actually going to turn the hair into a specific thing, like being able to make sure that that hairline goes on with like the actual topology, or like the eyes and stuff like that. You want to, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Anyway, so go.
Yeah, you're gonna have to do the tutorial.
I will
to show.
Yeah,
for sure.
This is a great workflow that you're working on, though.
So you go through, you create the basic shape first, before you go through and you make all your big details and stuff. And then you go through, you retopo it. There's a specific way, especially with faces, that you got to retopo. And one thing that I didn't realize, because I spent a whole day trying to retopo the Stimpy that I did, the best way to do it is big pieces, like big topology, and then you throw it in a sub D surface and then it gets smooth,
right.
Or you go through and then you do all your details. So as long as you've got like a low poly mesh of your faces or your character or whatever, that's the way that you want to work. And then you go through and you re-sculpt it with all the details. So what's cool about Cinema, and I'm sure there's a way to do this in ZBrush or the other ones, but like you can go through, you can take this low poly mesh, you subdivide it down using your sculpting tools, and then you go through and you do all the fine, no, I do not put in a volume mesher after creating a base, Matthias.
That would be...
Now, I mean, and I thought about this. You could actually go through and create like the generic shapes in a volume mesher and then retopologize that. That's another way of doing it if you don't want to mess with any of the sculpting stuff.
But you do the UVs this way, right?
Well, I try and make sure that the UVs are set up. Yeah. So, but I was using 3D Coat for UVing, and I'll get to that. So what's cool in Cinema, you go through, so you take your generic mesh, you subdivide it down a couple of times in your sculpting tools, and then you go through and really do all your fine details, like the lines in the face, around the nose, your lips, all the creases and stuff. And something that I had seen before, and this is like very prominent in a lot of ZBrush sketch sculpts and stuff, is the brushes. And the brushes are absolutely incredible. And I didn't realize how easy it was. And when you have Cinema, there's a whole sculpting set of brushes in there. So if you need like reptile skin or some organic bricks, they've even got. I saw one with buttons, so like you can actually sculpt
like,
buttons.
Thread seams.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So like all that stuff, you can go through and you can use a brush in order to do all of this. It's so super cool. So then you go through and you create all that. And then you bake out basically a displacement map and a normal map, and you put that onto your low poly mesh, and then it turns out just looking absolutely gorgeous on a super low poly mesh. No, it's absolutely insane.
Steven asked if you've ever used Medium or anything. I've played with Medium a lot.
I've played with it. Yeah, I've played with it, but like I like the idea of sculpting in like a VR medium, but I really like just I wear glasses, and my glasses get fogged up really quick when I'm doing VR stuff. They need a fan in there or something.
Right.
It needs breathability, and I can't do that for hours and hours on end.
I saw Tokyo Megaplex was doing some stuff in it the other day. I think he posted something.
Yeah.
Billy just mentioned Ranger and Fox's new reel, by the way. I forgot to put that in the notes, but they sent that to us, I think, on Facebook the other day.
Yeah.
So check that out.
I then take I can also take, if you want to like actually do the UVs and stuff, do that before you do the super duper like whatchamacallit, the super detailed version. So after you do the retopo, if you want to go in and do UVs, take it into either whatever Cinema's UVing thing, or I just took it into 3D Coat because 3D Coat is super easy, and I hope one day that Cinema becomes as good as 3D Coat. But yeah, The 3D code is pretty awesome. It literally you can UV stuff in like a minute or two. Like really complex UVs and just have it done, and it's super super easy.
You get that tutorial,
I like it,
bro.
I know. I'll do it.
Hey,
I'll do it eventually.
You can do the green screen and everything.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So yeah.
Josh Foster sent in an email. This is regarding Fusion and Resolve. This is some clarification, I think. Fusion and Resolve used to be standalone applications. Back in April, it was announced by Blackmagic they were building Fusion into Resolve 15. I'm guessing you guys purchased Fusion 9 around the time this transition took place. If you bought Fusion 9 Studio after April, you could have bought Resolve 15 for $300 and gotten Resolve and Fusion instead of purchasing Fusion 9 for the same price. It's really confusing because they still offer Fusion 9.
Is it the full version of Fusion, or is it like a dumbed down version of Fusion? Like, that's what I don't understand.
I think it's the full version. And but it's still on their website standalone, so it's easy to make the mistake. Also, thanks a ton for the heads up on the algorithmic news. I haven't had an Adobe subscription for a couple of years now, so I just bought some perpetual licenses for the latest versions of Painter and Designer before they switch up the pricing model.
That's interesting. I don't think I know anyone who who does not have an Adobe license.
Right.
Yeah.
All
Word.
right. So, Phil, tell us about your office. You're some...
Yeah, so I thought I'd spruce it up a bit. Now I'm spending a lot more time at home. I thought I'd invest in some. So I got some of those Philips Hue light bulbs, so I can just change the mood anytime I want. I got a few. I got a. Let me just grab this.
Isometric painting you got behind you here.
Yeah, so that is.
Where's Waldo?
It's from a guy called eBoy, and I've been following his stuff for a while. Like if I just do that, you can probably see it a bit better. But it's like he does like kind of this real fine pixel art. He still does it in Microsoft Paint.
Is that the guy? Did he do the Silicon Valley opening?
He may have worked on it, but that's the exact site. That
kind of
that
same
is
look.
literally the exact same look. It's all isometric, and he does all the major cities in the world. So he's like London, New York, Paris, Berlin, and Baltimore for some reason.
Cool.
Chad Ashley said that his dongle for Fusion worked for Resolve.
Okay.
So maybe that's
so
all
we just need to download Resolve. That's good.
Okay.
I'll do that after the show.
Sounds good.
I got this cool little
So tell everybody how that works.
So it's just literally.
What is it exactly?
It's
for those who aren't watching the video.
Oh, for the It's a 16. It's a 16 by 16 pixel picture frame, and you can control it via Bluetooth on your phone, and it has like a community of people that make them, and you can make them animated.
And you can just draw them on your phone.
You can just draw them on your phone, yeah.
Do you get live output onto it, or do you have to?
It's live.
Yeah, it is.
It's live, and you can connect them up as well. So you can get you could get 16 frames and have a huge pixelated picture, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
And they're only it was only £25. So
that's pretty heavy.
$18.
Oh my gosh. Dad jokes. Stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
25 quid.
There you go. That's like the equivalent of saying what?
Bucks.
20,
yeah.
Like
say bucks. $25. Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm learning. Sage yesterday said, I know you guys have a full show, but the sub just passed. This is the Reddit sub. Just passed 30,000 active subscribers. He said,
that
I thought
is
it
super
might
awesome.
Worth be a mention.
Wow.
Super awesome.
Worth a mention. We also had 190,000 page views last month, 58,000 unique visitors, which are both the highest for the sub in a month. And out of those, did he say how many posts?
I don't know.
Unique visitors, yeah, thousands of posts. Most of them
being,
which render engine should I use?
It's funny. Oh,
all right. Let's talk about Windows Update errors, because there's some updates affecting a lot of different things.
There?
Well, it's affecting Phil's mic. That was part of our technical problem yesterday, besides repairs going too long that were noisy over here.
Yeah.
And speaking of which, your mic is out. Wow. Wow.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah, cool.
You just muted it because you had to cough.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
did, yeah.
Be
Okay.
careful with that. I have done that many a time before.
Yeah.
Well, at least we know that it's still working so far, but only because
Yeah.
you had to go to a completely different computer.
Right.
Oh yeah, and a completely different mic as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I bought a brand new Razer Siren Elite. So it's like their newest out microphone. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to be doing some recording like in the near future. I'm going to get a nice new microphone. Sounds cool. And tried it in Audition, worked fine. And then when it was time to phone you guys on Skype, all of a sudden it works for a minute or 30 seconds and then switches to my webcam. And we literally, I spent so long just trying to troubleshoot that. We were trying to troubleshoot it, and it seems to be something to do with either the driver on the camera or the driver in Skype from the new update.
And there's there's new Skype updates that affected Matt as well. Like you said, you can't close Skype at all.
There's 2 Skypes now. Like I've got one that I've downloaded previously, and then there's one that just sits in my stupid dock. So if I go to the one that's sitting in the stupid dock and I don't have the other Skype open, it won't let me see my video feed at all.
Yeah.
And like there's no way to shut it down. It's not even in Task Manager.
It's
weird. Really stupid.
They're trying to integrate it.
On my laptop, I have 2 versions of Skype where there's one that's like kind of like the little kind of cloud logo, and then I have the square one which is from the Windows Store, which I don't know, which is weird. I don't have that option on my main machine, but yeah.
Billy says there's a Skype the program and Skype the Windows app.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So
but like
I've got
I should
Skype
be able to
Preview,
shut
too.
down. I should be able to shut down the Windows app.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Weird.
It's dumb.
And the other things it's been affecting too is, I guess,
Stop trying to make Skype happen.
Yeah, I know, right? There's NVIDIA updates, NVIDIA driver updates that I guess go along with these Windows updates, and those NVIDIA updates are affecting Octane. People are having crashes so far on all different types of versions of Octane, and so the general consensus is roll it back. Don't update right away. You're never going to have a good time if you just auto update right away. It's going to cause a cascade of domino effect of failure. Noseman said Skype is Microsoft's case study on how to take a software that works well with every version, make it worse in every possible way. Good job so far.
I know another company who likes to buy other companies and then make them worse.
Yes. So roll that. See, I'm just sitting here with no updates and all my stuff is still working. How about that? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
You give me a hard time about it, but you know.
Yeah. I definitely did the hard way doing that.
Yeah, but Dave, you'll spend days, literally days, trying to fix issues that I swear would just happen if you just update your stuff regularly.
I haven't had any
or the
problems with
fact
this
that
one.
you can't even join us in a Facebook or a video chat
On my phone, because my phone's not updated. And guess what happened last week?
Oh, there was a big leak. Oh, gee, someone can call me and listen in on my stuff.
Yeah, people can listen into your conversations on
Yeah.
FaceTime now, but not with mine because I didn't update. So let's move on to Ravcock. What's your flavor?
What's your flavor? I was saying if you were gonna do it, Phil, but you didn't.
Should we do take two?
I can't do it. I can't do it because of my voice.
Oh, that's right.
Come on, try
That's
it.
right.
Let's see.
He's like, what's your flavor?
That might be
Oh,
better.
see, that was
You never
even
know.
better.
I can do better
That's
falsetto.
what we're gonna use from now on.
I can do better falsetto whenever I'm sick. Sound like the Bee Gees.
I have
So-
no falsetto. It's just high voice all the time.
I sound like the guy from The Simpsons, you know, the teenager guy that works in the... Put that mayo.
Oh,
Put
yeah,
that
yeah.
mayo out in the sun.
gotta ask my
We're running out
manager.
of special sauce.
There needs to be some sort of frequently asked questions website, like a website that's like, what render engine should I use.com for noobs. And I'm not hating
Isn't
on...
there? No, didn't Chad do this? I'm pretty sure GSG did this.
He probably did, but I'm not hating on noobs, but the thing is, when you're new to the industry, you ask that question. The problem is there's so many new people in the industry that some of these groups and stuff online, it's just flooded every day
totally
with,
did.
what engine should I use? What engine should I use?
This needs to be like pinned in the Cinema 4D Facebook group.
Yeah.
It's what renderer should I use in Cinema 4D?
Right. Because
Like,
my answer to everybody is like, it depends on your situation, your hardware, the clients that you want to get. Like, what are you doing? Like, what kind of jobs is it? Like, there's so many variables that you can't just ask that question without more information first. You know, there needs to be a primer that says, before you ask this question, at least fill in these other blanks and tell us this other information before you ask that question, and we see it for the 100th time. The problem is people get tired of answering that question. I love answering questions online about Cinema 4D in general, or if someone has an issue. But when people don't explain what their issue is, then it's like, well, I can't really help you with that. Or if you don't give enough info, I don't know how to help you with that. And after a while, you get tired of asking that same question over again. So,
like saying, how do I make a movie?
Right.
Okay. Well, that's a really loaded question.
Well, it depends on your skill level too. Like, what renderer should I use? I don't know. Do you know anything about animation?
Yeah.
You know, maybe you should stick with physical render or pro render. Someone I told the other day, they're like, well, what GPU renderer could I get that's free? I'm like, pro render?
Yeah. You
I
could
know.
go use Blender.
But people who don't have any 3D experience at all, like, do you really need to be talking about Redshift right away? Like, like, learn about basic lighting before you move into Redshift. What are you going to do? You know, are you going to go buy Redshift and a bunch of plugins and spend all this money when you don't even know how to animate a cube? You know?
No, they're not going to do that. They're just going to steal it because that's what people like that do anyway.
Yeah. That's
the question should be which render engine should I steal first?
Right. And that irks me too, because when people ask about that, about a render engine, and you tell them, they're like, well, Octane's $300. That's ridiculous. And it's like, well, first of all, that's not ridiculous.
First of all, that's relatively inexpensive compared to some of the other ones.
And I always say this. I'm always like, well, you just paid $4,000 for Cinema 4D, so that's not a big deal, right?
Right.
And the answer I always get back is like, oh, I'm on the educational version. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Bro.
Well, they've got educational versions of just about all these plugins too, I believe.
That's what I said too.
I think
like, well, I don't want the watermark. It's like, but then,
doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh well.
Anyway. What else I got here? This is from you, Phil. This is shaders.xyz.
Oh yeah, so
is back.
this website disappeared for maybe, I think, like 6 to 8 months, and basically what it was a kind of a test for, you could use it in any render engine, and they just give you like a reference of what they want you to create, and then you basically show how you did it. So like you have people in Arnold, in Maya, and like Octane and Cinema 4D, and it's all like crazy weird, like beer foam, for instance, or
I saw that one,
like a rusty like multi-layered paint where some of it's chipped off and you can see some of the like rusty metal underneath, and it's been painted
bread. That's cool.
that's the new one. So
yeah,
and it's like people's kind of like approach to it, and how they like would tackle it in their render engine of choice. Basically, it's like a really good resource.
Actual render, that they're showing off.
So the first one is a photographic reference.
Oh yeah,
and then
everything.
Everything underneath that is obviously a render. So like people have just posted, like, this is what I did, like put displacement on it, etc., etc. Like, yeah, it's really cool. because like when a job comes up like that and it's like, oh, how actually am I gonna
I've had to do
BFA?
earphone before
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's just like crowdsourcing like the way to do it basically.
This is very
Neat.
cool.
Yeah, it's really
They
cool.
got the other stuff in here. Yeah. Man, this one right here, this is the best thing
And
since
it's
sliced
like
bread.
they've
Ah, gosh.
remade the website so it's easier to see all the information. Before they had a like a really crappy website, and now it's a lot more like better laid out and like easier to find the information. So
Nice. Oh, that's a good one.
yeah.
Neat.
All right, what I got else? What else do I got? Man, I'm dyslexic today. Let's see. NVIDIA drivers. What's the best render engine? Kingdom Hearts Arnold watermark. Did you see that today?
Yeah, I thought that was great.
Oh, that was a big
No, I
one.
didn't
So-
see that.
There's a cutscene in the new Kingdom Hearts game
Yeah.
where like the very first frame actually has the Arnold watermark on it.
No way.
Yeah,
Whoops.
Oh my god. That's
I think it's
amazing.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's almost like, you know, when you render over something, you overwrite after you render something, and
Uh-huh.
After Effects accidentally caches a frame because that's what After Effects does. Just one
Right.
frame is still cached even when you render. It's so stupid. But anyway, you can see for a split second, you see one frame of Arnold. Here it comes here on the live feed. You'll see this. Boom, Arnold. Whoops.
I think that's funny.
Somebody didn't clear their After Effects cache.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah, and we're the only one in the world who are going to notice it.
Right,
Of course, there's going to be a patch for it, I'm sure. You know, that gets rid of it.
right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What else do we have here? Did you have some... That was your Ravcock stuff, right? I think it was.
Yep.
My God, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. So,
Yeah.
let's see.
Excuse me.
Man, I'm lost in my notes right now. Okay, here we go. So, I guess let's get to MDC, because that was our week last week. Phil, you and
Yeah.
I were there hanging out and being inspired and junk, and that was
Yeah, you come all the way.
all the way
Well,
across
with-
the pond.
Yeah.
And man, it was so much fun. It was so inspirational. So
Yeah. It's really good to hang out with people from the Slack as well. I don't do that enough. Like some of the UK guys and stuff, and yeah, seeing the presentations, they're just like I wasn't like, I don't know, I didn't have my hopes like set that high, and then I was just like totally blown away like by some of the, like especially Golden Wolf, who
and Golden Wolf is
Golden
great.
Wolf is great.
Gosh.
man, they are
Yeah.
so good.
And the Coke
Yeah, the stuff
commercial,
that they're doing is awesome.
the Coke is what is it? Coke is a Coke.
Mhm.
Coke commercial that was right before the Super Bowl started. Immediately, I was like, that has to be Golden Wolf. And I looked, and I think I found something that mentioned PSYOP, and I guess, but PSYOP and Golden Wolf have some sort of connection, right? I don't understand the relationship, but I think
know.
they work together. Whatever it is, I'm pretty sure whoever's
Yeah.
doing all those gifts that we were looking at,
Yeah.
you know, the other day, were just like this Coke commercial. Do you know the one I'm talking about? Coke is a Coke?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't.
Uh-huh.
Hopefully, I can show a clip of this without getting tagged.
You're gonna get tagged.
Yeah, it drives me
Yeah.
nuts. It's like, I mean, we usually get it reversed because we're using it as an example, which is very useful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll
But they do all that kind of like merging kind of 2D sort of one object into another one, and they're just like really well known for doing that, aren't they?
It
Oh,
kind of
it's so
reminds me
pretty.
of what they did on that show called Superbad.
Mhm.
This hand drawn style
Yeah.
and everything. But
The movie? Superbad?
I'm sorry, not Superbad. Super Jail. Super Jail. Did
Oh,
you ever see Super
never saw
Jail?
that.
Man,
Uh-uh.
that hand drawn stuff was freaking awesome. But that's what it kind of reminds me of. But Golden Wolf's presentation was so good, and it was to me, it was a little bit different to be at a meetup in Europe. It has a different feel
Yeah.
to it, and
Yeah, it totally does. Yeah.
it's great. I loved it, and I got inspiration in a different way than I usually get inspiration if you're like at NAB or SIGGRAPH or something like that. And the way that they were describing how they go about getting work was very interesting to see, because we know people are flocking to Instagram, things like that. But the way that they go about doing this is they put these tests out for things that they feel that they could use in commercial work. You know, it's not necessarily like, oh, hey, let's do a daily or something like that. It's some sort of short animated GIF type thing that tells an actual story or something like that. And then they have so much of it that people come along and they're like, oh, we want to do something like that style you did right there. Can we talk about a gig? And so I was watching something Gary Vee said the other day, that there are people that go about doing Instagram like, oh, how many likes can I get? How many likes can I get? And comment. And everybody's talking about, oh, if you want to be seen on Instagram, you got to be constantly commenting and all this stuff. But all that does is it just brings the D-bags out of the work. The people that follow you because it helps the algorithm just to follow you. They don't really care about your content. The type of people that comment on our posts like, that's a great render, guys, and it's a picture of Maxon Rick and David Ariev standing there, you know? Yeah. And it's like, it's so obvious that you are being that guy right now. And that's not what is going to matter. What Gary Vee said, it's going to be about the volume of what you're putting out. If you're putting out volumes of great content.
That's
great content.
Yes.
Nobody
it's also
wants to
different
see the same daily render every single day, but
yeah.
But he has also said that, you know, you can. He's also talking about quality as well. You know,
course.
Like the quality of the people who follow. You know, I don't know. You're not. I don't
quality.
Right. Well, I don't know. Anyway.
Not for the
you need
sake
to post.
Of doing
You need to post regularly, and you need to post and it almost needs to be like pretty much every day or every other day, and you need to contribute to that. You know, that whole system for you to show up on other people's feeds. I think they kind of figured that out quite quickly from